Everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rohit. In this particular video, I'm going to discuss about conditional statements in Python programming language. So, what is a conditional statement? A conditional statement is a statement which is used to perform a computation based on the condition specified. So, these conditional statements are also called as conditional constructs, and in other way, they are also called as control statements or control structures. So, in Python programming language, there are five different types of conditional statements. One is the if statement, second is nothing but the if else, third is if elif else, fourth is nested if, fifth is nested if else, as I have mentioned here. So, now I am going to explain each and every conditional statement in a detailed and a brief manner. Let us have a look at the syntax of the if statement. First, I will basically specify the keyword if, and after specifying the keyword if, I am going to write a condition here. Now the Python interpreter is going to check whether this condition is true or not. If this condition is true, then it is going to execute this block of code, or it will simply come out of the particular if statement. Now, in order to understand it better, let us take an example. I have taken five numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And out of these five numbers, I want to check whether this particular number 1 is an even number or not. In order to check whether that particular number is even number, the particular number should be divisible by 2. Then only we can say that this particular number is an even number. So I am checking whether this number 1 is an even number using the if statement, that is the if conditional statement. I have specified, according to the syntax, I have specified if keyword, and I have specified this is nothing but the condition according to this syntax. I am checking whether this number 1 is divisible by 2 or not. If it is divisible by 2, then the value of then the remainder should be 0. Why the remainder should be 0? Because the modulo operator, what it does is it will basically divide these two operands and return the remainder. If the particular number is divisible, then it is going to return a remainder of 0. But here in this if statement, if this condition gets satisfied, then it is going to print this print as divisible. This is nothing but you can relate this particular print statement with this block of code. This is how if statement works. But there is a limitation or a disadvantage. Let us consider if this particular condition is not satisfied. Then in that case, I want my Python interpreter to execute another block of code. In such situations, we can use the concept of if else. Now I am going to explain you about the syntax of if else. So in the same if the keyword if, according to the if statement, the condition I am specifying here, if this condition is true, then this block of code gets executed. Else, if this condition is not true, then it is going to come directly to this else statement and it is going to execute this block of code. Now I am going to replicate the same code for this if else as well. What I am doing is here is if 1 is divisible by 2, then print divisible, else it is not divisible. So what Python interpreter does is, first the interpreter comes to this line and it will check whether this particular condition is true or not. If it is true, then it is going to execute this line of code, or if this condition is not true, then it will directly come to this else statement and it is going to execute this line of code. This is how if else statement works. Now next, coming to the if, elif and else. So before understanding how if, elif, else works, so if, elif, else basically used to check for multiple conditions. Let us consider there is a student and he has got some marks and he has got some total overall percentage, and based on the overall percentage secured by the student, I want to check which grade does he get. So in order to check that, we use the concept of if, elif, else, and this is used to check for multiple conditions. So as the percentage values ranges from 0 to 100%, if the percentage of the particular student is less than 40, then he is going to get a grade of F. If his percentage value ranges between 40 to 50, he is going to get E. 50 to 60 as D, and so on and so forth. If his percentage value is in between 90 to 100, he is going to get a grade of A plus. So in the same way, if I want to test these conditions using if, elif, else, I can basically check So in order to do that, first I want to explain the syntax of if else. So here I am writing the if condition, wherein I am specifying the condition. If this condition is true, then it is going to execute this block of code. If this condition is not true, then it is going to go to this elif block. Then it is going to check for this condition. If this condition is true, then it is going to check for this block of code. If this condition is also not true, then it is going to check for this condition. And if it is true, then it is going to execute this block of code. If none of these conditions are true, then the Python interpreter simply goes to this else statement and will execute this block of code. This is how if else statement works. But there is a limitation. But if for example, if you want to, but there may be a situation where multiple conditions get satisfied. But in this if and if else, wherever the condition gets satisfied, the block of code gets executed directly, and it will not check for any other conditions. But if if multiple conditions get satisfied, then in that case we use the concept of nested if and nested if else. So what does it do? Nested if. Nested if as in if inside another if. If inside another if. So so first it is going to check. This is the syntax of nested if. So first it is going to check for this condition. If this condition is true, then it is going to check this condition. If this condition is also true, then it is going to execute this block of code. Or the other way around, if this condition is not true, then it is going to simply come out of that particular if statement. Next, coming to the nested if else. It is similar to if else, but if else inside another if else. So in the same way, this is the nested if and the nested if. So what it is going to do, it is going to check whether this condition is true or not. If this condition is true, then it is going to check for this condition. If this condition is also true, then it is going to execute this block of code. Else it is going to execute this block of code. But if at all the first condition is not true, then it is going to come directly to this else block and execute this block of code. This is how nested if else works in Python programming language, and these are the 5 different types of conditional statements present in Python programming language. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed, and hit the bell icon for more notifications and videos. Thank you. Please stay safe, keep learning and keep growing. Bye bye.